Our second reader hails from the den of the Southern Rebellion, Charleston, South Carolina. Influenced by the duality that exists there, he made some interesting decisions, starting with attending the college founded after a slave revolt that also has the dubious distinction of producing the two cadets who fired the first shots of the Civil War. An English major as an undergrad, he decided to join the Marine Corps. Spent almost a decade there, earning his MA in English literature in the process. He loves telling stories, especially stories about those seminal moments that explain the duality that exists in most people. Please give a warm welcome to Norman Doucet.
Oh, no, Laura. Oh, that's good. I'm not that tall.
Yes, you are.
So thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Thank you for the first story. I actually think it dovetails very nicely into what I'm going to read. Interestingly enough, that bio that I wrote has some meaning. Indeed, my college was founded as a result of the slave revolt, and 9 people were shot/killed in that church. The leader of that slave revolt founded Emmanuel AME Church in Charleston. So it's very interesting how kind of the circle of things goes. So thanks to everyone that supports Tuesday Funk. You guys are all wonderful. This is really a great venue for people to come share their stories and their experiences. So the last couple of times I read here, I shared personal stories, which are generally just recollections of my experiences, most of them humorous. Tonight I'm going to depart from that a bit. I'm going to share a little bit more about who I am, and perhaps why I am who I am, which is meant more to generate questions in all of you, rather than to elicit emotional connections or responses. Words are important. More specifically, which words you choose to use in situational contexts are important, which is why I think I argue with my lovely spouse, who is here tonight from time to time. We have arguments about what words mean, and what does that mean. Sounds like Bill Clinton a little bit, but it is what it is. For the record, I'm not in any way trying to be political or preachy. I just hope that you listen to these words, and I do hope that they generate questions that are relevant to your own lives and your own experiences. I am a recovering bigot. This includes many things on the list of what bigotry is: racist, sexist, homophobe, dogmatist, sectarian, and partisan, just to name a few. It has become increasingly clear to me that I am a bigot as the richness of my experiences, influences, and friends has expanded over the years. In short, I have achieved enough upward velocity in my life to escape the echo chamber that had trapped me for many years. I would like to say that this is a direct result of my conscious effort to change, but that is a lie. My acceptance of my bigotry comes as a consequence of my choices, rather than the fruit of my choices. Let me say that again. My acceptance of my bigotry comes as a consequence of my choices, rather than the fruit of my choices. My recovery vis-a-vis said bigotry has been asymmetrical at best. It is something I struggle with every single day as I interact with my family, friends, co-workers, as well as strangers. It's most evident when I interact with my 2-year-old daughter, who still, luckily, has no concept of the hang-ups that handicap most of, not all of us, on a daily basis. So I guess you can ask the question, why am I this way? First, I could blame my mother, Blondell, for some of this. There are a few folks in the room that know her, and would probably give that nod. Although, would it surprise you if I said that my racism towards African Americans is partly born out of some of her teachings? As an aside, my mom marched in the civil rights movement in the 60s in Charleston, desegregation of things, but some of her teachings has led to my bigotry. I chose most of my friends and experiences as a young man because I was taught by my mother that my people didn't have much to offer if you truly wanted to get ahead in the world. If you want to hang out, have a good time, learn about good music, that's great, but if you want to be successful, get ahead, be president, be whatever, don't associate with our people. As a consequence of this, I was freed from the influence around black identity. Now, I know there are a lot of non-black faces in the room, but I think you kind of all understand what I mean about black identity. In college, the Military College of South Carolina, as a subsequent consequence, I was not a part of the African American Society, nor was I in a fraternity, which was prevalent but highly illegal in my institution, which helped to facilitate my rise through the ranks of the Cadet Corps to become, ironically, the first African American cadet to hold the highest position at my college. I could blame college and the Marine Corps, the experiential foundation of my late teens and 20s, for the misogynistic and homophobic elements in my bigotry. My college used to be all male. It's not anymore. And I was a spokesman for it, remaining all male, when the first woman to gain admittance sued for equal treatment. I was in the infantry in the Marine Corps, which has no women in its ranks because it is a part of the quote-unquote combat arms, which was barred to women. I can also blame some of my racist views on those two institutions as well. When I attended the Citadel, African Americans comprised about 4% of the Corps of Cadets. It's about 8% now. I could actually literally go a couple of days in college without seeing another African American cadet if I had chosen to do so. We also celebrated the lost cause. For the uninitiated, that is, the South will rise again, yeehaw, yippee-ki-yay, all that good stuff, right? So, the Confederate flag was banned my freshman year in college. So, until the year 1990, Anno Domini, the Confederate flag was a part of our tradition at the Citadel. Although the fight song, which was Dixie, wasn't banned until my junior year, and it was only kind of banned. Seriously. It was allowed to be played during events that the Sons of the Confederacy, which is one organization, and the Daughters of the Confederacy, which is another organization, attended, which was pretty much everything. One of the most interesting recollections of my freshman year, so freshman year is an aside. Freshman year is like, it's your plebe year, your knob year, is you just basically get abused. Verbally, physically, psychologically, you just get abused. That's all I can say about it. But one of the most interesting recollections of my freshman year was standing online, which is all the freshmen get online and get yelled at by everybody. We were yelled at by the white cadets to sing Dixie louder. Sing Dixie louder! So the white cadre cadets would come by yelling at us to sing Dixie louder. And then the black cadre cadets, part of the same group that were training us, would come yell at us, "Stop singing Dixie!" So it was comedic, and might I say, a unique experience in my freshman year. In the Marine Corps, at the time I became an infantry officer, I was one of 19 African Americans who were infantry officers. Okay, to add some context there, on average, there are around 16,000 commissioned officers in the Marine Corps. The Marine Corps is about 175-ish thousand strong. So 16,000 commissioned officers. To add some further context, there are around 3,000 infantry officers. To add some other context, in the entire 175-ish thousand Marine Corps, there are about 900 female officers. So of the infantry being hyper-testosterone filled, John Wayne attitude, Audie Murphy, all that good stuff, it was naturally also homophobic in addition to being sexist and racist. So I hit the trifecta, good for me. And honestly, I relished in it. Guys, I relished in it. Which brings me to my next point. I could blame my mother, my education, my professional background for the reasons that I'm a bigot. But the real reason is me. I am institutionalized. I chose to be institutionalized, and for a very long time, I really liked being institutionalized. I still like it to some degree, which is why I am a recovering bigot. I gained value from it. I had an identity and gained acceptance and respect because of it. I was invested in the traditions of my institutions and thus accepted their flaws. More accurately, their reasoning behind resisting change and maintaining the status quo. Basically preventing people from having an equal chance. As a rational person, I do believe I am rational. My wife might disagree. I could frame arguments to justify my bigotry without the use of violence or intimidation. But the same cannot be said for everyone. So here's a closing thought. As all of you know in this room, I hope, there was a mass murder committed in Charleston a few weeks ago. The killer was a young kid who self-identified with an institution. What was that institution? Many pundits argue this point to this day. Was it the KKK? Was it the Aryan Nations? Or some other neo-Nazi or white supremacist group? I would argue that that institution is America. Yep, America. The greatest impediment to progress is us. Most of us, anyway. We have an almost clinical obsession in America with cataloging and classifying everything, from the beer and wine you guys are drinking tonight, the type of vehicle you may be driving, to the type of dwelling you live in, to what type of cheese or bread you're eating, to what groups each of us belongs to. But more importantly, we have an obsession with assigning value to the things we differentiate. And that is the tinder in the box. In the wrong hands, these obsessions can be and are transformed into institutions of intolerance. I point to one of the greatest social justice victories in my personal lifetime as an example. Marriage. Now it's just fucking marriage. Not gay, not straight, not interracial, not something else. Just marriage. I know this is probably a utopian view of things, but hey, I'm a recovering bigot. So looking at things from that point of view is a vast improvement for me. If we focus more on the things that unify us, instead of the things that differentiate us, maybe we can start to give everyone an equal chance. At the end of the day, that is why I am choosing to fight my personal bigotry, so that my children, excuse me, so that my children don't have to question who they are, or be categorized or socialized into a specific way of thinking, so that they can have the tools not to grow into being bigots at all. Thank you.